Welcome to the Seven Crosses series for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic, and we're picking up on the 8th of April 2004. And in this part, what I want to do is carry on doing a bit more planning, but the actual focus will shift on to two things. One, I want to build my first major highway I've ever built in this game. I also want to pick up on a comment that 68 Teapot actually made about the fact I need to get a major construction area and out into this area somewhere, so that I can ensure that I'm able to build the kind of three major cities that I am planning. My three major cities, what I'm talking about is we're going to need quite a large city in this area so that we can produce chemicals and plastics. We've also got to build nuclear city up here in order to supply the workers to our nuclear power plant. And of course, if I show where the bulk site is, what I would like to do in this corner of the island is build an aircraft production area, and of course with the corresponding runways. And then of course that then leads into the possibility of building the second runways and also providing possibly helicopter support to the outer islands. I also want to look at finding a way to develop the oil field in the top right there. So that is going to be the focus of this part. And I think probably the best place to start is where I'm going to build my major construction area. Now, this construction area is going to consist of at least, well, one, possibly two construction offices, and one to probably do buildings, the other one to do roads, because we need to push roads out across over here to get out to where we're going to be building aircraft. And also, because we're going to be doing a major construction effort here, we're probably going to need multiple construction offices. Now, the area I'm looking at is here. Now, it's not the 100% ideal location, but from a logistics point of view, it's probably fairly well placed, because you can see I've already got a rail line coming out here. So it should be relatively easy to get this connected to various rail depots, say open stores, warehouses. In fact, I'm probably thinking multiple open stores so that we got quite a lot of material out here. And of course, those open stores will need to be connected to helicopter pickup points. I'm also possibly planning another helicopter construction crew out of here as well, because of course what we should be able to do is I pick up on either here, so we could put a helicopter terminal in here, so expand this a little bit more, provide workers. And of course what we could do is push it out as we expand, and of course if we get the town built here, we can pick up workers from this area as well. So this is the area I want to start at. My big problem, I think, is the fact that we are outside of the range of any construction office. Let me just check. So what we need is a green site. Actually, could I get it there? Oh, look at that. That's pretty. This is a bit of dead zone here. If we put you in there, and then we're going to get my very overworked helicopter crews working on this, because I want this built as quickly as possible. So we can't really plan that much in this area for the moment until that is built, but that's not a problem. Now, the next thing, seeing I'm thinking about construction offices, is out here. Now, I want to make this a kind of self-contained area with effectively no workers. So we're going to have to get a fire station out here with a helicopter crew. But of course, we're also going to need to get fuel out here. And of course, we're going to need to get the oil from here over to the other side of the map. So what I'm thinking is the possibility of putting a pumping station in here. Now, the question is, sometimes pumping stations can be quite easy to place, but I've got a horrible feeling. Oh, wow. Okay, how far? That's too far away, really, isn't it? I mean, we'd have to run some pretty long lengths of pipe here, but I'm just wondering if we could get that. Because I'm a little bit worried about this island. I mean, if we could get this, I mean, getting the port here, I mean, that's quite a long way away from this, because my oil is here, and I mean, I could put it in here somewhere, but I just don't like the ships coming in round this island. We could come possibly this way a bit. I don't know if we could get a going to turn orange, yellow, is it? Let's see. No, it's coming across this island, see? So it looks like we're stuck a little bit here. Maybe here? I think we can make it work. We're just gonna have to run a pretty long power. What we're gonna need to do is run some fairly long pipelines here. We're pumping intermediate pumping stations across to here. But what we are going to need out here then is a construction office with the associated fuel. Let me just see. I think what we'll do is we'll put a helicopter construction office out here. I think we can bung it down anywhere. Maybe halfway between where our oil fields are and there. So say if I put it about here, and we're just gonna, oops. Now this helicopter construction office is going to be more for doing any leveling or building through here, because of course what we're going to need here is some tanks. So let me just find the oil tanks. I would like a fairly large one for outbound purposes, but we're going to have to put a pumping station in, aren't we? I'm pretty sure that it doesn't pull. I've never been 100% certain about pumping the oil out. I'm a little bit worried about that fact. Actually, what we could do, if we're going to go grand scale, we might as well. How far out can I get that oil pipe? There we go, out like that. We're looking around that tree over there. So if I put it's not good. Oh, we can put it there, and that will come into there. So that kind of gets me a little bit in that direction. Not as far as I was hoping for, but so we get that there. Now the other thing we're going to need in here is we need to put fuel into here, both for the purposes of any construction crews. No, we can build it with helicopter crews, can't we? So all this needs to do is to do the leveling, and then we can put in the helicopter crews afterwards. But we are going to need fuel out here, and as well. So I think we'll go modded. We don't need vast amounts of fuel out here. So storage. Back again. Let me just find the oil fuel tank. Where's it gone? Come on, game. There it is. And now this is going to be a little bit kind of complicated, because what we're going to need to do is we're going to have a pipe coming out. Because we need to store fuel in here for the ships. How much does the... I mean, here's a question for you guys. This can store 100 tons of fuel. So if I sent a ship out here to unload 100 tons of fuel, would that actually put it directly into the harbour? Or would I need to put a storage tank in? I think that might be a case for a bit of experiment, so I'm not going to plan that just yet. But we'll get that area there. And I suppose just for kind of completeness sake, so that we can just curve you around there like that. And we can just hook you into there for the moment. Trim you back a bit. We'll just accept those roads. I mean, it might as well look like an oil terminal. So this is going to be my remote oil terminal. And then what we're going to have to do is try and get into this to get oil. And then what that will do is bring the rest of the fuel down. Now, power-wise, I'm probably thinking lots and lots of wind turbines. I don't really want to bring workers out here to provide power, and I don't really want to build a massive power line all the way out to here as well. So we may need to go wind power here. I think we've got the capacity. Let me just check. We go to... Oh, so long. I mean, these will produce 35 megawatts. So all we would need here is a fire station. So we'd have to put a fire station here, put some helicopters in it. That's kind of solves the problem with the fuel. We will probably need to have a fuel tank in here because we're going to need to put fuel into the helicopter fire station. Now, I'm going to think about that, guys. I just wanted to get that underway so that I can start planning that area. Now, if we get back over to wherever we are meant to be, I think it's just about here. Now, one thing that I don't want to import across the map is boards. So I was looking at this area here, and because we got the town there, we can probably bus workers out here, because we're not talking major production. We're just talking about producing enough boards to be able to send down to our supply area here. So I think we can plan in some wood cutting posts. What we're probably thinking is something like that there, and then we're putting an open store. Don't want anything too elaborate, probably just a small. Oh, thank you, game. Probably put in a little open store there, and then we'll come back to here. We could put a sawmill just in about here, and we can put another. I mean, truthfully, what's the capacity? Then we could probably put another small open store here as well, like that. We can just hook you in there like that. And then eventually we could put in a bus stop here once this road is finished, so that we can get all this connected up and done. Anything we will need to do is like plant some trees in this area. Actually, we'll probably get rid of the kind of non-productive trees. I think that's why we got an opportunity. We'll just kind of zap these out. And we're actually, because I select the right one there. Let's just clear this out a bit. I think I might have messed up a bit. So just clear the whole area of everything. Just like this. Then we'll plant pine in here and create a little local forest. As I say, I'm not thinking about this being a major production area, because the amount of boards that you use in construction is relatively small, and we're never going to export it or send anything special. In fact, while I'm at it, just suddenly occurred to me, I haven't checked my wood production for a little while. This one's okay. Just maybe put a little bit more in here. Then this doesn't draw that much in the way of wood. Get over to And again, I'm very surprised that, considering the fact that the only heating to Foodville comes from here, we don't seem to be cutting the trees down as much as we used to. Let's have a look over here. I mean, even over here, I know this area is effectively shut down now, but we don't seem to be chopping the trees down again. I don't know if the devs have made a change so that you don't get the clear cutting anymore. You don't seem to lose the numbers of trees as much as you used to. Either that or I'm just not, and these are just not using it. But I am producing my own boards, so there must be somewhere where those boards are coming. I mean, I think the boards are actually produced from here now, because you can see we've got piles and piles of boards here, and they're kind of shipped up around the map. I'll be completely honest, boards is one of the construction materials. I just find it a lot easier to produce them locally. They just don't seem to be worth the effort shipping them all around the map. We've got steel. Let me just, while we're here, we'll just take a quick look at, I think these guys are functioning quite well, so that's good. I'm keeping the game intentionally on slow because I'm aware that with this large economy, something could be developing and catch me out. So I don't want the game to go charging forward. See what we got here. Okay, we're down to 2 now. We're actually nearly finished this. That's brilliant. And again, that's something else 68 Teapot mentioned, is that we need to get a rail construction office further out as well. And that's going to be part of the, so you're nearly there to there now. So the area we need to be working in is over here. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to be exporting at the moment. That's something. So let me just check here. But we got a little bit there that needs to be done. I think because I'm going to be working on other projects, I think to see how far the electrification goes with this. Yeah, I think what we, just to keep this guy busy while I'm planning things, we can send him out here. Is what I want to do is get the electrification out to here, so that we can get this distribution office built in, and as well, in fact, I don't think you've been allocated, have you? You're only on the tiny one. I think what we will do is start building that distribution office. This guy doesn't have a lot to do. I'm being a bit negligent at the moment with respect to this. Plus, these construction offices are just getting too far behind the pace. Now, the only other thing I want to check is over here. Is it here? Can't remember now. I just want to see how many workers. I think we got plenty of workers here. I want to check the numbers of workers here. I don't think we're really getting the workers in here. So my instinct is to push the population a little bit more here, so that we can get more workers into here, because I don't think at the moment with my... Okay, we got some trucks. Right, this guy's producing the... I'm going to add a couple more of these, because I think we're going to need lots of them. The other possible thing is that we've got plenty of money, so I wouldn't mind producing some open holes as well, some large ones like this. So we got 74 million, so put some open holes on here. I will get to personal transport eventually, but at the moment I just want very much to focus on the commercial side. A traffic jam, and we'll have a look at that. And now one of the problems is that I can't ship these harvesters. They're gonna have to make their own way out here, which is a little bit of a pain, but there's not much else I can do about it. I'm just gonna have to send you out. So you're gonna have to kind of slow up all the traffic. I'll get a couple more of these out. the moment we've got 5 tractors out here, 2 combines, and 4 open holes. Now, one minor change I've made over here, because it occurred to me that it's going to take quite some time to get this lot built in. So what I've got going on up here, I just want to check with the helicopter crews, is I've put in a small rural bakery here, simply because the idea is that if I can get the rural bakery up and running, what that will do is supply some food to here. I mean, the clothes is still going to be an issue, but I think if I can get it producing enough food to keep the population happy here, what I can do then is take that offline later on. In fact, let me just make sure that it's being built. That's being built. I wouldn't mind that being built. And we've got that built there now. Let's see anything else. I think we'll get that allocated and that allocated. I wouldn't mind possibly another residential block built here. I've put a university down here, but we're not going to get that online too quickly. We've got a private school here and a kindergarten. I think we've already got a old cinema here. I'm not sure how far. That covers most of the city. We've got an athletics club. I think what we will do is just allocate these in as well. In fact, we've got 3 buildings here. So there seems to be a building here that doesn't have a footpath connection. Let me just take a look. What are you then? Oh, you're an athletics club. What we'll do is you obviously need to go that way. These are built so we can hook these up, possibly hook this up and that up. Of course, because we got the street lights, so we don't really need to worry too much about putting pathways along the road. I'm really getting hooked on these roads with street lights, but and I think I've mentioned this before, I really wish that there was a version with roads with sidewalks that didn't involve streetlights. I think that would be pretty awesome, to be honest. But just get the... he won't build them. Okay. We'll just have to get our normal road crew out here. Do that. So I've kind of rambled on a lot longer than I thought I was going to do. Now, the next thing I would like to do, and I'll be completely upfront, I have never even considered building a highway in this game up until now. But I think, considering what's coming up in the future, I think it's about time I learnt how to do it. Because we're going to have harbours along here, towns, and chemical production, what I'm thinking is to put a like you'd call a backbone highway, starting about here, running through almost parallel with the railway lines to connect up to the other side. And then the idea is going to be is that we're trying to get all the main traffic to run along the highway and then spur in as and when they to the areas that we want to go. So that's the idea. Now, whether this is going to work, guys, is your guess is as good as mine. I don't want it too close to that bridge. Well, I think if we put in the road, I want it to kind of stay relatively close to the railway line, but not so close that we can't put in supplementary junctions. Although, truthfully, we don't really need a supplementary junction here because yes. But then again, I may need to bring rail lines off. So yeah, okay, think this through. Think this through. Don't be an idiot. I think the problem with the curves is, yeah, that's it. I think if you put a little short length in, so if we run parallel like that, maybe a little bit like that. Just put the terrain on. There's a hill here, so we won't be building a junction here. Maybe there's another hill there. And we got quite a lot of space, so my instinct is for the bring the highway maybe out like that, and then through this valley here, like that. And what we're aiming for is over the here somewhere. We push through. Of course, we're going to have to put a bridge over the railway here. Now, this is where it could get a little bit tricky. So if we just come here. I think this is a concrete bridge. Up, down. Try and keep it straight. What's up with that? Oh, that's a bridge, isn't it? Now, what I want to do is kind of build it over like this as a freeway back to the road. I want to keep the junctions apart, because the idea is going to be is that this will be a highway with one-way traffic on it. So we're going to really build this all the way through like this. I've got absolutely no idea whether this is practical, but I've got a feeling it could be the future. Plus, I think it'll look realistic, won't it? If you've got a proper highway running across like this. Now, my main concern is the actual junctions, because unlike city skylines, building junctions in this game could be a little bit clumsy. But I think if I can lay in the highway to start with, and I think if we can kind of come in and say Fairview like that, so we'll just accept that. And the idea is going to be, just turn that off, is that following the normal conventions, what's it? This is right-hand drive, isn't it? Not left-hand drive. Apologies for my confusion. Living in the UK, it can be quite a little bit difficult sometimes to shift your mind into right-hand drive. So what we're probably thinking is, let me just, yeah. So this would be going out. This would be coming in, and then we're coming through here. Now, if I tried to build a UK junction, the UK junction has a roundabout above the highway, but I'm not sure whether that will actually work. What I might need to do is a little bit of some testing. One thing I thought I did have, again guys, I'd be very interested in your opinion on this. I need to find a flat bit of land. It looks like it's a bit of land here that we're not going to use. And if I put this back on, I'm coming here like that, and then what I'm hoping to do, I'm trying to get the tightest possible roundabout. Like that. Now if I trim this out like that, or that, yeah, I'm just going to accept that. Now I know some of you are probably thinking, wondering, why has he built a roundabout in the middle of nowhere? Back to, let me just kind of try some. You could build, actually no, that's the base roundabout. Now what we're going to do is clone that and then paste that next to it. Actually, sorry, probably messed it up a bit. I was right in the first place. I'm going to put a road like that, road like that. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna have to kind of mess it up a little bit. Delete that. Let me try that again. This is an advanced tutorial on how to build roundabouts in workers and resources. Can I get it so that runs up level, maybe smidge over like that? That might make it a little bit easier. No, it's not that easier, is it? Let me just come up. So our tightest curve is 2 by 2. See, that's not really running true, is it? And then trim you back to there. Right. Thank you, game. So if I can get a road off there. I can get a road off there. I can get a road off there. I can get a road off. Wow, look at that. Done it. Sort of trim this back. All I want is the little short stubs. So I'm just going to accept that. That's going to be my second clone. And now the idea is, I just can't do it there, can I? Because this is. But I just wonder. I don't think. Let me just try something as well. Let me just try. Let me just clone you again. Now, the reason I'm cloning them onto the map in this area is that if I can get these right, it means if I want to use them on another part of the map, I can then just move them over. I don't even have to build them. I just need to get them kind of lined up. And what I'd like to do here now is we can get a road out like that. Oh, yeah, you can do it. You can do it, game. Let's just trim you back a little bit like that. I've probably messed this up a little bit now. No, we can still get that there. And then we can put you there. And then just accept that. Trim these back a little bit. And then I want to try, because I was a little bit not that happy with this. Wait. Why are you building that? You're not meant to be building that. I think I've just messed them up a little bit. Never mind. Got an enthusiastic crew. I didn't allocate you. Probably been picked up from over there, actually. I'm just going to clone this. Come back over here. And then I can put you in about here. That. No, run you up there, there. Put you down into there like that. Possibly we can, but no, I think we'll start with that. What that means is that we will have a two-way road here, and we've probably kind of ruined these guys a little bit, but let me just, I can Now I've got the principle established, I could possibly do that. Come off of here like that and just do this as a single road. And then I'm a bit surprised that this road crew was able to pick the job up, but if he wants to start building out here, I'm quite happy. Probably doesn't have a lot to do anyway. Yeah, I kind of cut that bit off, but so we've now got a road in here that will come that way. We've got a little bit of a roundabout here for an entry junction. But we've only got the one junction here. And then what we can do is, what I need to think about is the type of junctions that I can put along here. But before I build those junctions, I need to decide on what I'm going to be building here. So that's something I do need to think a little bit about. What I might do off camera is a little bit more experimentation, because, well, I'll just knock up something quite quickly. I know this is a complete digression, but what I'm going to need to do is, you look at the fact that the highway runs along this side of the track, so we don't need a full kind of crossover type highway. What we're looking at is the highway coming through like that, and then say a single road coming in like this. Now of course, sorry, we're talking, I mean, it would be nice if you could get a Y effect. So that bit is easy. The next bit is going over. Actually, let me just take that out. So say we've got a, for argument's sake, just turn this on so that we can get a straight on angle. Let me just see. Great. Just sort of, yeah, let me just put a bridge over the center here. So say, for argument's sake, again, this is very quick. If it works in principle, what I'll be happy to do is possibly try and polish this. This is another reason why I'm kind of using cloning. So we got that there. So what we could do is just push you out. So you could put a road across like that, and then trim this back a smidge like that and like that. And then we could come here, oh, you can do it. Then we could possibly come down here, try a different style here on this side. So you can come there, and then we got a road there. I mean, to look real, it should be able to come off an angle, but this, I don't. Let me just take that off, and if I take off the, right, we got a bit of an angle here, and we can kind of come in there. Just trim you back again. So I'd say that that is a relatively simple one that we could drop in. But I mean, obviously it needs tidying up because I just knocked that up very quickly. The alternative is that we put a roundabout at the end, but I can't see the benefit. Now, the British junction, a variant of that is that, oh, if I accept that, clone this, if we can find somewhere to shove it. This is going to need quite a little bit of level groundwork now. I'm not sure if this we're going to be able to do this, but we'll give it a go. Just take that out. And we've got this bridge here. It'd be lovely if I could clone that bridge. Could I clone that bridge over something else? Okay, let me just try something. We are in really definite kind of, it's cloning into, it will only remove the road if it's, I'd like to put that there, but it wouldn't work, would it? Because you can see the bridge there where the road is. So if I try to put it back over this road, it wouldn't work, would it? Okay. Let's get rid of you. So what we're going to need to do is I need the no, it's kind of kinked up at the end here, isn't it? As though it's, I don't think I'll be able to, it's going to delete the whole bridge, isn't it? Okay, that's not going to work. What I was thinking of doing was building an elevated roundabout above the bridge, but I don't think it will work. Well, that's the original, isn't it? So let me just, I know I'm going completely off tangent, guys, but I'm completely fascinated whether I'd be able to do this. In fact, we're going to need a fair distance, so I come up like that. You across, you've got two on each side, and then we accept that, remove that. But you, problem is I don't think you can put a junction in the sky, can you? I mean, it would be brilliant if you could, but I severely doubt that you will be able to do that. If you could get something like that, and then no, because this is very much like a motorway junctions. I mean, anyone in the UK would be familiar with this format. And what you'd have then is a slip road coming off like that down onto the highway, and then you'd have another one on each side. So what you'd have is the slip roads coming up onto the central roundabout here, and then going off there. And of course what you'd get is, so that would be the interchange with there, and then what you'd have coming off here would be the local road, but it's not going to let me do that. So the other option would be to go underground. Okay guys, I've got completely distracted, apologies for this, but going down the rabbit hole now with respect to doing junctions. I'll tidy this mess up. I will keep the roundabouts and these junctions, and I think what I'm going to need to do is just work on getting some format ones here, so that when we build out through here, we'll be able to make sense about that. And I think what I'm going to do for the rest of the video, I think I've got about 10 minutes left, just do some ordinary gameplay. I think we've done enough messing around with building things. Has this been assigned? Got the helicopter crews working on that, and we can get this construction office built. So we got that there. And actually, just to give you guys an idea of what I'm thinking is, because this goes quite narrow and it's relatively close to the rail line here, and because what the other thing we're also going to need to do is put in a rail connection probably about here, because I've left enough space. And then what I'm thinking along here is either a small cargo port, or if we can get something that's a medium one, it'd be nice to get, say, a medium port in here. It probably won't go green, and we've got no construction office. So what I'm going to do is have a series of ports along here so that we can ship goods out to the islands. Well, that's the thought process anyway. So we'll have a bit of a port here. We'll probably have our town in the center here. And then over in this area, what we'll have is the chemical and plastics production. So we'll have a kind of a elongated industrial area spreading along here. This is the reason why I pushed this highway all the way through, so that we've got connections. There's also a possibility that we certainly would need a helicopter pickup point for the chemicals, which I talked about in the last part. Okay, I'm going down the rabbit hole again. So let me just, I think we're just going to see what my various crews are up to, whether they're actually behaving themselves, whether they've got shortages. I mean, probably in the next part we'll get, and looking at this, I think we're getting very close to letting people move in, because we've now got the secret police, we've got a hospital, we've got the police station here, we've got a kindergarten here, an old cinema building there. The only thing that we may not have put in just yet, that heating pipe is being built. Let's have a look here. Looks like that is being built. It's just that not that one. So let me just see, see if that is being allocated. Yep. Let's just turn off F2. So we've got the heating plant here, we've got some coal coming in, we've got the aggregate up here as well. But again, this is really a temporary construction site, which will eventually, we will probably keep it going with respect to this, but eventually it will be fed from this kind of construction stroke distribution area here. And of course, the other thing we will be doing is, as we expand out through here, is that we'll probably be putting another farm in this corner here, be able to keep the crops flowing in up to here. I'm also thinking the possibility of another farm here. So let me just see. So this is coming together quite nicely. I don't think there's much else going on in the way here. We got 2,000 people, so we're getting lots of kind of escapees, because at the moment, because my population is plateaued because I'm not building any accommodation at the moment. In fact, I think just to finish this off, I'm going to go back to, I think what I was looking at here is possibly getting another couple of these blocks on this corner here, so that we can get lots and lots of workers into this area. So if we come to modding, residential, and I think it'd be quite nice to have saying 2 more blocks. I think you should be in range of, yeah, if we put them here, in fact, we could probably get 3 more blocks, but I think I'd rather space them out a little bit. If we put 2 more blocks in here, they're both in range of heating. Not sure whether the heating, we may need to work a little bit on our heating supply. Let me just see what we got. This heating plant here. Let's see the overlay tell me on where's 90 degrees centigrade. Let me just see, we got, it's drawing 46%, but we've got 2 heating plants coming in this way, so we may need to think about another heating plant here. Though where we're going to put it, could put it, we got a heating plant there, we've got plenty of coal within trucking distance. Now there is a possibility that we could put a heating plant, actually we could put a heating plant up here, isn't it? Because we are supplying coal to here. So we could put another heating plant, say up in this area, far enough away from this resident. Actually we could put it here, couldn't we? I need to think about it, guys. I know I keep saying it, but sometimes when you're trying to get something sorted out in your head, it can be a little bit much. Just hook you guys there. The road crew on. I don't think you've got anything much to do anymore. You are slowly. Right, so they've actually detected it anyway. And I think we got some flats still in here that need to be built, but I think we've got some unemployment in this area. We just see. I don't think. Oh, well, it's not that bad actually. I think maybe we could get a little bit more workers in here. Got a small theatre there. That can get to there. Yeah, I think what we're going to do is build these two here. We'll get this guy. Yeah, he's just pottering around, not doing very much. So get the theatre built, get this built. And how's the working situation here? Wow. Where's all my workers gone? I had loads of workers out here recently. Looks like my prison might be getting a little bit busy as well. Okay, it looks like we may need to get some more workers into this area. I thought I had enough workers. Not that I think we've got an iron ore shortage. Let me just check. Okay, something's gone wrong here. What is going on? Look, those are passengers going out that way. Ah, we got some sellers out here for food. We do need to get that connected to. I mean, 7,210. What we got here? Got the police station. Right, we're gonna have to get some more workers into this area. We'll get a few more back in here. But we're not getting a queue. Oh well, okay guys, we're gonna have to kind of get our act together a little bit here. I think what we will do is, I'm just gonna reduce this down, because this is only a small town. We don't need 30 people in there. Probably the police station would be okay. How's the hospital? Yeah, we don't need 50 people in the hospital, so we'll just drop that down a little bit. Get them working where they should be working. We've got the Lenin University. Well, yeah, probably they're all going to university, so we're just going to knock that down as well. The fire station, probably could take a few people out of here as well. So that we're going to get more workers into here. And I think what we'll do is, well, I can hook. What are you delivering? Hilton. Irontown Prison. I think that's Irontown Cargo Station. What we'll do is add you to the list. And you can, what we need here is food and clothes. I don't think we're going to bring the electronics up. We'll just bring up food and clothes to there. Let's just check. It's not like we got a shortage of steel, luckily. We just need to get our workforce up again. I just love this game. Take your eye off it for 2 seconds and it starts to kind of mess with your head a little bit. The other thing I wouldn't mind is a prison, but we're going to need to do a little bit more work with respect to accommodation. Where's the shopping centre there? Kind of 231. These are 189. I'm kind of going in the direction of possibly a couple more blocks of flats here. We can't impinge on the cableway. Well, we're building that there. Let me just see. Just do the distances. That guy can't reach the terminal. You no. So these ones round here, they can't get to the actual terminal. You can. So what we need here is a couple of other residential blocks. Right, mod workshop. Those are compatible, aren't they? So what we'll do is we're going to get, you're in range of heating. Major population collapse on the way. Possibly we can get a third in there. And then we'll just get some footpaths in here. My instinct is to possibly link these up. So, for argument's sake, I come out here, come across to there, like that. Put you there, you can come to there, and then eventually this one can come into there, and get the helicopter crews on these. Get that built. And what we'll do is shove a lot more population into here. We really got to make this, there we are. I think reducing the workforce now, we should get some more workers out here. Oh, that should start. Yeah, so I think once we get the workers in here, we'll get the iron ore flowing again. Good. And actually, curiosity. Secret police prison. Part of me. Another prison there. I think we could probably put it in a little bit closer. We don't really need to put it out that way in the middle of nowhere. I don't want to crowd that terminal too much because we may need that for future expansion. Say we put this here. Again, I'm not going to build it straight away. We'll just build the road connection. This is something that will be nice to have, especially as the population expands. We're probably going to need another prison. In fact, once this is done, we'll just go and check our prison in Colville just to see if our prison population is getting to a point where it needs to be sorted. What we will do is find the... looks like we got a train or something stuck. There's a question mark, which is always a cause for concern. It's done it again. Okay, we're gonna indulge in a little bit of emergency repairs here, guys. Because what we got here is a bit of a problem, and I don't want to keep having to fix it. What we're gonna do is we're gonna, I know it's cheating, but put you there. Actually, I'm gonna have to upgrade it. Messed it up a bit. I thought I was building temporary tracks. Just insert the signals. Chain signal there. Out signal there. Remove you and you. Chain signal couldn't go that way. we'll put got absolutely no idea how long that train's been sat there, but then we'll move you and you. Now the problem's going to be is this area here, but I don't think there's much I can do about that. Just love this game. Well, we got lots of fuel there, but has that affected Knife Edge? Because if the train's been trapped there, Knife Edge may be running out of fuel again. Let me just take a quick look. No, we're okay. So the moral of the story is that fuel trains, let me just go back and measure this, is that if you're running, bear in mind, I think it's 155 meters. Let me just get the measuring tool. Length of this is 156 meters. So you measure from here. Yeah, so even that is a little bit tight. So if you're running fuel depots like this with distribution offices, these crossovers need to be at least 156 meters from that end, so that a long fuel train can fit in. In fact, that's probably going to need to be a point of view for most crossover setups like this towards most stations that will be using distribution offices. That's something we're going to need to try and think about going forward. Just kind of, well, I think we're doing okay. I think Colville here, how's the, yeah, we've got plenty of workers there, and oh, I just love this game. Have a look here, it's got helicopters. Right, so we fixed a couple of small problems, and I think this is where I'm going to leave it, guys, because I think I've probably blown your minds so completely. Apologies for going down the rabbit hole with respect to road junctions and using the clone tool to experiment. That was totally not planned, but until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.